Yo, I am back. Just woke up, but it feels good to be back on the mic. Missed you guys. Now, before anything happens, yes, I am trash at poker. So before you hop in the comments talking about, you're so bad, blah, 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 realize that I already know that I'm trash. Instead of hating, which you can still do, why not help me out and let me know why something was trash? As you can tell from this video, I got my ass whooped. I was playing 1-3 in a place that I may or may not be technically banned from. I bought in for 300 and wanted to see how long I could make the money last. Not long. First hand of any real interest, I'm on the button with ace-jack offsuit. There's a straddle for 6 and I just decided to call, even though I should be raising in this spot. But again, I'm cheeks, so I'm not that worried about it. The flop comes 5, jack 4. The straddler puts in 5 and the 2 limpers fold. I call. The small blind calls, who was either just really turnt or a tweak star. If you don't know what a tweak star is, you know, imagine an all-star, but for tweaking. We'll come back to that later. The turn comes the 3 of clubs, and that brings in the backdoor flush draw, but I still feel good about my hand. When the small blind and the straddler both check, I throw out $15. My thought was to charge flush draws, but in retrospect, I should have went with a bigger size or just a check behind because I kind of set myself up. And now the small blind raises me to $50. In the moment, I wasn't sure exactly what he could have. I'm assuming with just the straddle pre-flop, he could have basically any 2 cards, which could mean I'm way ahead or way behind. But with top pair and top kicker, I call. The river is the 8 of spades, bringing in the flush. Now the small blind goes all in for $75. And just sensing that this guy is a tweak star, I really want to call, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Takeaway from that hand is that I need to be raising pre-flop, especially with hands that I really want to play. Obviously, when I say tweak star, I'm joking. Everybody at the table was really cool and we had a good time. Just a joke. Kinda. Hand number 2, I'm in the big blind with the low jack makes it 15, cut off button, both make a call, and I learned my lesson.
But people
50.
50.
Yeah.
So I decided to raise it up to $50. And about after a minute, they all fold, and then they tell me that I should have only raised to 25 or something smaller. I think that's kind of a tweak. Let me know in the comments if you think it was a good sizing. I felt good, and it always feels good to see one go in, bro.
Bro, you don't talk about me. You come in here and talk about people's haircuts, people's snapbacks.
yeah, I don't trust you is what I'm saying, bro.
I'm in the hijack with another pocket pair. It limps around to me. I may not be the best poker player, but I know jacks can sometimes be a weird hand to play. Because if you raise it up and the small blind or the big blind 3-bet me, I'm probably not so good. But also knowing that Senior Tweak is on the button, I'm confident in my limp here. And wouldn't you know it, he puts in the raise for $25. The big blind and low jack call. I make the call, but looking back at this hand, I think this was a great spot to actually 4-bet. With over $100 in the pot, the flop comes out 4-8-2, and the big blind immediately jams all in for $39. Low jack fold. His range in the big blind, especially against a button raise, is really wide. And the only hands in this range that have me beat are small pocket pairs, but I'm not really worried about those because if he hit a set of 8s, he tried to make sure everyone put in the $39, not just one person. With that, there's only 6 other combos that have me beat here, and it's $39 to win around $150. With all that, I put in the call, and unfortunately, the button folds as well. The turn comes a king. The river comes an ace, which I really didn't like. I throw out my cards thinking I got it on lock, and he shows ace 4 offsuit for the river 2-pair.
Ace 4.
Fuck.
Oh my god, he did queen jack.
Crazy.
Huge L, bro. Huge L. Fuck. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was so mad on the inside. But also, I got it in good, and he rivered 2-pair. I can't be mad at myself. Hand number 4, I'm in the hijack with king 10 suited, and I raise it to $15. The low jack calls. The flop comes jack 7-7. We both check. The turn is a 7. Low jack bets 20. I call. River another jack. We chop. Now, this is where my tweak star is showing. But let me know in the comments again if you actually think this is a tweak star moment. We are playing a seven-handed. We are playing seven-handed. Under the gun +2 makes it 25 off the jump. It folds around to me on the button with pocket sixes. I make the call. Flop comes Jack 8-8. He checks. I check. Turn comes a 5. He checks again. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, in my range, I have all of the sets of 8s. I have all of the flush draws. I have more jacks in my range than he does, actually. If he had pocket jacks, he would have bet the turn, at least for value. And ace jack should be at the very bottom of his opening range. With a jack out there, it reduces the amount of combos. I look over and only see $50 in front of him. So
All in.
I jam all in for what I thought was $50 effective, but it was actually 76 or something like that. And I'm just praying that, you know, he doesn't snap call me, because if he snap calls, he obviously has the jack. If he doesn't snap call, then I'm probably good. And when he doesn't snap call, I start thinking to myself, oh yeah, baby, I got him in the bag. He thinks for 2 minutes, like actually a whole 2 minutes straight. Going back and forth. The other people at the table are talking like, yo, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Finally, after hemming and hawing, he tosses in the chip. The river comes a 4. I flip over pocket sixes, and he shows that he raised under the gun with Jack 7 offsuit. I couldn't believe it. However, again, I wasn't too upset because the fact that I put him in the tank hopefully means that I put him in a tricky spot and my bluff wasn't super wild, or maybe my bluff was wild. My last hand of the night, it really embodies how my session went. Limps all the way around to me. I have king 3 suited. I limp in as well. Flop comes king 2-9, 2 spades. I honestly was just not engaged at this point, so I wasn't really sure what cards were spades, what cards weren't. I go all in for 23. I'm like, there's no way I can't win this pot. There's no way I can't win this pot. The guy who had Jack 7 offsuit decides to call. He hits a flush on the turn with 10-7 of spades. I took another huge L, even though he was getting terrible pot odds to call. But with that being said, man,